Hi, I'm Ray and this is TinyTableGames. Thanks for clicking on the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And join me as I continue my journey of getting through every game I haven't played on my game shelf and all the miniatures painted. Today is Battle of Hoth, the conclusion of Campaign 2, I would estimate. Episode number 3. It's a very short one because the Empire has won twice in a row, so it has not drug out by any stretch. This time it is just the remnants of Outpost Delta trying to escape from the base after they completely screwed up trying to get their boss out who was injured, and a probe droid ran him down. So that was sucky. But anyway, let's get into it. All right, so here's the layout, and it wouldn't be a weird setup, you know, if it wasn't something going on like a retreat again. A lot of retreating going on. So this is scenario 15, the South Gate Retreat. Special rules in this case, if the Empire manages to wipe out 4 units, they immediately win. The rebels do not get any points for wiping out Imperial units. Instead, they win points only, and they need 5 of them, to have 5 units escape through the base. In other words, move into the base hex and then off. Now, the positioning is very weird on this one. The rebels unquestionably have superior firepower based on the number of units out there. However, they aren't getting any points for using them. So, notice also, wall, crevasse, things that can fly can go through there, but infantry can't, but you can shoot across it, and wall. And 1 trench, and so basically it's going to be rough going for getting around or through that. They either got to go around this way or this way. The middle is completely blocked to everyone except for shooting. The rebels get 5 cards to start the game, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in addition, they got 1 support card, which turned out to be your units roll 1 additional die for close combat attacks. Close combat's not where they want to be by any stretch. 3 in 1 section. Let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. No shooting whatsoever. Okay, for the Empire's turn, we've got all through the middle, all on the left flank, their left flank. 3 orders of the 3 units of the same type. 2 units, they can't attack but can move 2 extra hexes, or when attacking, 1 unit ignores terrain. 3 units of the same type and they move 1 additional hex. So that's Imperial Assault all the way, and we will move it with infantry, and they can move 1 extra hex. So that means these guys can move 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3. And these guys can move 2. 1, 2. Notice the trench right there for cutting across. And 1, 2. There. So these guys will start us off. 3 dice right there. I feel like the Empire's really getting cards they really need. 1 hit and 1 retreat. Retreats are not what they want for sure. And over here, firing 3 dice into those guys. Now these guys have nowhere to retreat to, they're stuck. So that takes out 2 of them as a result. And finally, these guys are going to fire all 3 into that turret. But it takes the explosion symbol, I do believe, to blow it up. Yes, it does. So they don't manage to do that. Or everybody on the left. It might be better to do everybody on the left flank, to be honest. Maybe we'll do that. Because that's at least 4 units that we can do something with. Brother. All right, so everybody on the left flank, ignoring all the losses over there. So the speeders are going to have to move up to get out of everybody's way. And puts them in danger of the walker, but that's just how it's going to have to be for the moment. These guys are going to run. Does that put them in a better spot down here? Yes, it does. So 1, 2. These guys, 1, 2. And these guys are going to retreat, well, run down here into the rocks. Okay, the only shooting that's going to happen, because of the line of sight and whatnot, is with the speeders, shooting into those guys with 4 dice. They hit 2. Just once. It'd be neat if they actually hit with everything, wouldn't it? But no. Terrain protections for close combat. I think we'll do move everybody in the middle. So we'll activate these guys, and they're going to move into the trench to cut that guy off. These guys will move 1 space here, so they can be activated in either location. And these guys will move straight up the middle to optimize who they get to shoot at. So for shooting, we'll start with, actually, oh boy, that's a tough call. We'll start with these guys shooting at him. So that's 3, 2. 2 dice at that one guy. Maybe they can finish him off. Yep, they sure can. Trophy. And these guys will fire. It's got to be these guys because it's 3, 2 dice that way. And if they get a retreat, that is so much the better. Oh, double retreat. Well, they've got nowhere to retreat towards their baseline, so they lose 2 troops instead. And finally, these guys are going to shoot 1, 2 dice into these folks right here. And they get 1 hit. 2 in the middle, no. 1 in the middle, and recon. I think like going with the recon with the guy in the middle might be the way to go, because we really need to draw some better cards fast. Although they're almost finishing those guys off. If we move 2 over here, that might take some pressure off, so let's do that. We're going to start with 2 on the right flank, probably against my better judgment. It's going to be the turret and rats. And somebody should run. 3, 2, 6 dice. All right, it's going to be these 2 guys. They're going to stay in position, and everybody's going to fire at the elite unit. So we'll start with the turret. 4 dice. And it got 3 hits. And these guys, 3 2 dice at what was left of the elite unit. And they get them. They don't get any trophies for wiping out units, but they needed to get rid of that fast-moving unit. So they're no closer to the edge, but at least that threat's out of the way. That lets up a lot of pressure on that side. 2 units of your choice, or 2 on that flank again. So I guess we'll do 2 units of your choice. Ignore all terrain protections for close combat. I think we need to activate these guys who are going to move up to here. And we need to activate these guys who are going to move up to here. Because those are the best odds on eliminating more troops. So 3 guys into him, or 3 shots into him. That takes care of that. That's trophy number 2. And these 3 are going to shoot into those 2 guys right there with all 3 dice because they're not in a trench or anything. And that gets them 2. 3 trophies. So 3 units of your choice, that's definitely what it's going to be. If we eliminate this guy, all the pressure's gone on that side. But we also actually need to get some dudes off of the map, including the speeders at this point. Boy. So, 1, 2. And then the speeders are going to activate but not move, so we can reduce that threat. Although, should they? They're actually going to move back one. Well, the ADAT can hit them now. If it moves again, it'll still be able to hit him with all 3 dice. Yeah, but if they move too far away, but they're real crunchy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to retreat with them. There's too many dudes who can shoot at them from too far away. So does that mean I should have moved to those other guys? Nope, we'll go this. 1, 2. The speeders can move into rocks. They just have to stop there. Yeah, it's definitely the better play. And finally, these guys who aren't going to move but are going to shoot. Should I have activated both of them? Maybe, but here we are. So 3 dice into those guys. Oh, should we play that extra card? Do we have that one? Roll 1 additional die in close combat. We're going to do that too. So 4 extra, or 4 dice into these guys. Wow, 3 and a retreat. So the extra die was well worth it. And this guy will retreat into the trench. 3 units of your choice, that's what we're doing for sure, because that's maximizing their ability to do anything. So he moves up to attack them. He's going to move up to shoot at everybody around him. And these guys moving here can now shoot at those guys or these guys. So that's something. Okay, so we'll start with these guys, shooting at these guys with 1 die. They can shoot at them, but same problem. And they force a retreat. That's the worst possible option since that lets them get closer to the exit. These guys will shoot at the speeders, 3, 2. -1 for the rocks. They get 1 of them. And this guy will fire into these guys, I guess. They're closer. And it's 2 dice either way due to the range. And they get 1 and force a retreat. All right, we're going to do 2 units of your choice. These units ignore terrain, movement, and attack restrictions. So these guys are going to move 1 and shoot at him from the rocks, ignoring the normal movement restriction on the rocks. And unit 2 is going to be the speeders who are trying to get the heck out because they're vulnerable compared to everybody else, ironically. 1, 2, 3. They need 1 more turn to get out. Although they shouldn't block the exit from those other guys, so they'll go 1. No, they're going to stay right there. And for firing these guys into him, 3 dice. Double retreat. Yeah, I guess over to here. Let's see, 2 units of your choice. They move twice but can't attack. Is that worthwhile at this time? Actually, it might be. Yeah, I think it might be. So 2 units of your choice. They cannot attack but can move up to 2 extra hexes. So one, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3. Yep. I think that does a nice job of putting him into a useful location. 2 units of your choice, and they roll additional die. So we got to do this one with the Magic Leia card. 2 units. And they roll an extra die. So these guys are going to step around 1. That's 1 unit. And then they'll be firing. And these guys are going to step out, pardon me, and will also be firing. Now that screens them entirely from the AT-AT and those guys, so it's only 1 threat on this side, and we'll just have to risk that these guys don't get wiped out on the next turn. So it'd be 2 dice into them, plus 1 for Leia, so it'll be 2 shots of 3 dice into those guys. That's 2, and happily no retreats. And for the second shot, hopefully they can do as well. They do as well. They wipe them out. All infantry units in 1 section. We only got 2 infantry units left. Well, plus that 1 guy. Everybody on the right flank, that's basically the same thing. 2 units over there, so I guess we'll do that. 2 units on this flank. These guys are going to shift 1, and this guy's going to move up 1. He will fire. Probably not even worth bothering at that. So he will fire into them with 3, 2, 1 dice because of the stupid rocks that they're still in. Oh, and he forces a retreat. They have to retreat towards their baseline, which puts them right here, though, which is kind of ironic. So that actually worked out pretty good for the Empire in that regard. So these guys will now fire into them with 3 dice because they don't have a choice. And they wipe them out. Bang, bang, and there's no place for them to retreat. Bang. So just when it was looking like the rebels would get away, a little bank shot right into the, drove them right into the hunters. Wow. Imperial player reads Chapter K out loud, and the Rebel player reads Chapter L out loud. So for K, we have Galactic Imperial Victory. Nice job, Major. You have successfully outflanked the enemy's defenses, and the rebels are now trapped inside their base. Lord Vader and his shock troops will soon eliminate what remains of this rebellion, and order will once again reign in the galaxy. And for the rebels, defeat. The front has collapsed. Imperial troops are pouring in from all sides. Our main line of defense won't hold much longer, and our remaining troops are battered and surrounded. We may not see tomorrow, but we will fight to our last breath. Wow. Well, okay, so the Empire swept all 3 scenarios there. Otherwise, that campaign can go a bit longer, but not when you win 3 in a row. I really thought the Rebels had it there until that last basically bank shot effect, followed by amazing rolling by the Empire, just wiped out that last unit. That is crazy. There was only 3 infantry units left on the Imperial side, and it paid off for them. In any case, I thought that was pretty exciting. You never know how things are going to go in this game. Sometimes just that's how it turns out. Never even moved the walker in this case. So I'm Ray. This is TinyTableGames. I hope very much you've enjoyed these campaigns of Battle of Hoth. Next time we'll be moving on to something else. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.